Good afternoon, morning, and evening somewhere. I guess I started the day wrong.
In the middle of it.
Yeah, in the middle of the day, but that's okay. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're listening to us from. Welcome back to where we solve your life problems.
Always.
1 week at a time. So we're getting a lot of questions about our upcoming Life Map Navigator program. If you've seen the post, you've seen the video, we've been talking a lot about it. It is one of our signature programs, and I'm really excited about.
Right. And it's a really phenomenal program. We've delivered it to thousands of people over the last 10 or so years. I like to kind of call it the class for people who tried every planner, every Post-it note, every productivity hack, and they're still saying, why is my life such a hot mess all the time?
Well, I have my stack of planners that are empty, and they're pretty. I have them on my shelf. They're very pretty. I used to be addicted to physical planners. I had a ton of them, and now I'm addicted to digital planners. Still empty.
Yeah.
But that's okay. Now they're pretty on my iPad as opposed to pretty on my shelf. But that's okay, because if your life feels more like a chaotic game of Tetris, which I used to love, and I had a love-hate relationship with it because everything needs to fit, right? But sometimes it doesn't fit, and that's what I love about this masterclass, these 5 days. It's kind of like your cheat code. Takes you from basically, what am I even doing with my life, to, hey, look at me, I'm thriving.
And I don't want to make sure that everyone understands not to worry. It's not one of those classes where, I'm going to tell you to think positively and everything will work out. If you build it, they will come. Doesn't work that way. We're going to talk about real tools, real strategies, and some serious aha moments. Maybe a little sarcasm because that's what we're known for, but it is work and it does work. So you have to show up and do actual homework, not just go ahead and say, I want this. And if you manifest it enough, it'll come. Doesn't work that way.
No. So sarcasm, fun, but did you know that this masterclass has been described as the GPS for your life?
Yeah. And not like an actual GPS, because it won't send you into the lake when it says, hey, you've arrived. And you're like, what? I'm in the middle of nowhere.
Recalibrate.
This GPS will actually show you, when you do your roadmap, it'll tell you exactly step by step what to do, how to get there, what you really want to do, and more importantly, we're going to incorporate AI today, or AI in the masterclass.
Yeah.
Sorry, and so that will really make what you have to do at night to get there a heck of a lot faster.
So seriously, homework, fun, AI, and sarcasm. You can't beat it, right? Mm-hmm. So stick with us, because we're going to dive into why this masterclass is exactly what you need when you didn't know you actually needed it, but it's going to change your life for real. I mean, it's something that so many people have been through. So like I said, we've been getting a lot of questions. So we wanted to answer them today. So the first question that we've been getting is, why do so many people feel like they're spinning their wheels even when they're working harder than ever?
Well, that's a real interesting one, and because it really comes down to the foundation piece, and that's what this masterclass is all about, because people have a tendency of setting goals without really aligning it to what they truly want. So if you're asked a goal at the beginning of the year, you might say, I want 10 new clients. And that's not really the goal. The goal is like, why do you want 10 clients? You have to understand the feelings and what comes through with it. So do you want 10 more clients because you'll be making more money, and therefore if you make more money, you'll go on vacation or you'll pay your bills? Like, you need to have something that aligns with exactly why you want it. And that's where most people fail. So we're going to dig down really deep into the actual goals that you want to achieve, you want to make happen, and then that motivation will help you get there.
Exactly. That's awesome. So what about working more? So there's this big myth out there, right? It's like, well, if I work more, I'll find success. Huh?
Yeah. So again, if you're very clearly defined in your vision and your goals, and you've clearly defined the steps to get there, then you'll actually work less. So I would say, if you give us that 1 hour a day over those 5 days, and that's 5 hours. That's it. 5 hours to make the rest of the year easy for you, then it is worth it. Because what you'll do is you'll plan everything out, and every day you'll go to your calendar and you'll go, okay, this is what I have to do today in order to achieve that goal. And then by the end of the year, you will get there. So,
Amazing.
we talked about, maybe saw my story yesterday, but we've talked about it in the past that, we set goals last year for our own personal stuff. And for me personally, it was health. And I wanted to make sure that I committed to exercise, to movement, because that's what my naturopath told me I had to do. So, and it's daunting when you first set that goal, but I kept saying, okay, by the end of the year, this is how I'm going to feel. And it will be normalized at the end of the year because I will have created a habit. And that's where we are today. So now I don't think about how hard it is. I just go do it because that's the natural piece that came out of planning it. But if you don't plan it and make sure you understand the reasons why, you're never going to achieve it.
Absolutely. And I've joined in the physical exercise world, and it is making a difference. I've seen progress, but I've started a little bit later in the year because that's what I had to do in order to make things happen because life happens. So I think that forgiveness that you're not on the same track as somebody else, but you're on your own. You're on your own path, and that's why that GPS makes such a big difference. So this particular program is different.
Yes.
And what makes it different? So what makes LifeMap Navigator different from other programs in general, just about goal setting programs or ones that talk about planning and putting everything into
Well, I think we made a very clear line as to what we want in any of the programs, in any of our teachings. You guys have come join us every week on Hot Topics. You know that we tell you very specific things to do, right, to achieve it. It's not theory. If you want to go to theory about goal setting, then go to school.
Read a book.
You don't need us. So what we do is we tell you what's practical. We tell you here are the steps you need to take for you. It is personalized. It's your roadmap. But you've never really thought about breaking down those steps before. So you might have had the goal that I'm going to exercise 3 times a week. Great, but saying 3 times a week and actually figuring out how to put it into your calendar, managing those steps so you'll get there is a completely different thing. So every single goal you set, whether it's personal or business, will be actionable steps in your personalized roadmap that you'll keep yourself accountable. It is, I guarantee you, it is those 5 hours that you really need to do for yourself in 2025.
Absolutely. And I think the biggest thing for me is that it's personalized, right? It's, just because you have this list of goals, it doesn't mean you should have the same goals as somebody else. And if you do have the same goals as somebody else, the breakdown of how you're going to get there is different. So that's the one thing that I really like about this particular program. And so what's one thing that people kind of discover when they're doing this masterclass? Like, I think it's one thing that people go through it, but what's one surprising thing?
Well, I mean, it's always the aha moments that everyone's experiencing when they start digging in and realizing what's been holding them back. And that's always the biggest piece that you can do when you're thinking about, what I need to do going forward. There's always something that holds you back, but you don't know. You don't know it until somebody else points it out. Exactly. So we are very blunt, as you guys know, and we're very to the point. Blunt. So if you're going to say, if we call on you, and don't worry, you only participate if you want.
Yep.
Although we probably would call you out anyway. But if you're holding on to something and say, I can't do that, we dig back until you finally figure out why you keep saying that. And usually it's a really dumb thing that's holding you back. And once you realize you get through it, you're able to achieve it. So when you see other people in the group as well sharing those moments, it really makes a massive difference to whether you're going forward.
Absolutely. And I love that part. I love the interaction. I love the conversations. I love seeing people share about, some of their wins and where they're struggling, and then watching other people sort of pipe in and help them as well, which is really cool. Yeah. So can 5 days, 5 hours actually change the trajectory of your life?
Yeah. It's we've done this so many times, guys, so many years. And I still remember the first year, 10, I think it was 10 maybe years ago, people were blown away because nobody had really done it in this way. And I still remember all those moments that people were like, oh my God, I can't believe that I didn't do this, or wow, look what I think I can accomplish. And the reason is because it's a very clear formula that you follow in these classes. So every single day builds on to the next. So you can't just like show up on day 3 and know where we're going. It doesn't work that way. So
you can't skip ahead?
No.
No
So you
skipping.
have to start, and I'm the worst for that because I'm the one that goes to the back of the book to find the answer.
Exactly.
So you have to start, and we have a very clear agenda of how we do it. So we start with understanding the full roadmap. Then we go back to a rewind. So we look at things that you've done in the past and why you've done it. Right? Then we start moving forward. What do you really want to accomplish and why? How do you do it? How do you break down that roadmap? How do you make that roadmap stick? At every single piece goes on to each other. So every day you will have homework, not hours and hours of it, but you will have homework. And by the end of the 5 days, you'll be able to go ahead and use this on everything in your life. You'll be able to use it, explain it to your kids, explain it to your spouse, whoever, and they'll be able to understand how to structure their life to make sure they accomplish and get what they want as well. Whether it's, learning to cook or whether it's increasing your business tenfold, it doesn't matter. The way you do it, the way you handle it is in this formula, and it all works together.
Awesome. Love it. Okay, so there you have it. Life Map Navigator 5-day masterclass starts on January 27th. Basically, self-care meets success plan that you didn't know you need.
Exactly. So if you're still not convinced, here's the deal. What's 5 days in the grand scheme of things, in the rest of the year, in the rest of your life? You've probably spent more time binge watching Netflix shows that you didn't even really like, right? And I know how many times have you started a show and then 6 hours later, you're still watching the same show. So in those 6 hours, you could have already done your plan for the year. So what I want to make sure everyone understands is 1 hour at 12 o'clock. So it's your lunch break for those of you who are working, because we're going to be talking to both people that are employed, people that own their own business, that are thinking about starting, stay-at-home moms, stay-at-home dads, stay-at-home retired, whatever you are, it's at noon. So that makes a big difference. So we will go live, and you can access us in our hub. You can, and it's a great place to go because in the hub, you'll be able to talk to other people who are going through it, ask questions, you name it. There is no charge, so you are allowed to join us there. You'll also be able to stream us on
LinkedIn. So we'll be LinkedIn live on both of our profiles, and we will also be live on YouTube. So you can check us out on our YouTube channel, The Mastermind City, on our LinkedIn, or in our hub as well. So if you want to sign up, the link is in the show notes. You can learn more about the program. You can sign up there. We will send you emails and reminders with links and how to add it to your calendar. And you also have to get the workbook as well, so that you can actually go through, because like she said, there is homework and you do have to take action on what you need. So let's actually figure this out together.
Yeah. So here's the goal, right? Like, you want to be able to come back to us in the end of the thing and say, you know what, this wasn't just a great exercise. I'm actually thriving. I'm actually moving towards my goal. And you will be able to move towards your goal day one. You'll be able to see exactly what's happening and what's coming down your way. So make sure, though, you sign up on our link, because you do need that workbook. It's big. It's a big workbook. It's a great working live tool that you can reference all year long. And again, it's free. So there's nothing holding you back but you.
Exactly. All right. So we will see you on January 27th for day 1 of Life Map Navigator.